This video will show you how to write a check. To follow along, open the file called landworks_basic banking. So we're going to write a check for the monthly payment for the nice blue car. And this check will include an amount that goes for principal and an amount that goes for interest. So on the home page, click Write Checks. Make sure the bank account is the one you want to write the check from, and it is. And then choose the payee. When setting up this vendor, two accounts were associated with it, one for the car loan and one for the interest. So these two accounts are already entered for you on the Expenses tab. All you have to do is enter the amounts. For the car loan, let's enter $313. And for the interest, enter $54. And as you make payments throughout this life of the loan, the balance in the car loan account will go down, and finally, after the term of the loan, the balance will be zero. So we want to save this check. So again, I have to maximize the Quickbooks window, and that exposes these buttons down here. So click Save and Close. I'll go back to minimized size. Next, we'll talk about voiding a transaction. So if you need to void a check, a deposit, or a funds transfer, you can void it or you can delete it. For example, if you wrote the incorrect amount on a handwritten check, you can void the check and write a new one. So we'll open the register that contains the check. So go to Check Register on the home page and click OK. So here's a good use of this little Go To button. We want to search for a payee, and we'll search for Acme Insurance. Let me move this down a bit for you. And clicking Next will jump from one transaction to another to this payee. So we'll keep on clicking. And that was it. This is the one we want to void. So now that it's selected, you go to the Edit menu and click Void Check. If you wanted to delete it, you could go to the Edit menu and choose Delete Transaction instead. But it's probably better to void it. When you void a transaction, QuickBooks changes the amount to zero, and that shows the zero here, and enters void in the memo field. If you were to delete a transaction, it's gone from your records. Voiding a transaction is better than deleting because it still shows in your record. Okay, we're ready to record this, so we'll click Record. And yes, we want to change it. And here, QuickBooks is asking if it's okay to create a journal entry, which is not a bad idea. So click Yes. So let's close this register and show you now how to transfer funds between accounts. If you have two bank accounts, you can transfer money between them. For example, when your checking account gets precariously low, you can transfer money from your savings account. And to do this, go to the banking menu and choose Transfer Funds. And from the Transfer Funds From field, choose the bank account you're transferring from, and Transfer Funds To, choose that account. Enter the amount of the transfer, type $2,000, and click Save and Close. And so that records a transfer of funds that you either made at your ATM earlier or that you plan to make later on. Unless you have signed up for online banking, you didn't really transfer money from one account to another. This is just a recording of the transaction. Okay, that's it for this video.